evening, North Greenville, and welcome back to Vision 48 News. I'm Ansley Brock.
And I'm Clay Webb. Ainsley, our weather's been a little bit of everywhere this past week. I spent this past week in Orlando, and it was like 85 degrees every day. It was so warm. It was so nice. So what do you think is coming up here soon?
Well, I know that I'm definitely looking forward to summer, and spring break is right around the corner,
Yes,
so I'm really hoping that this warm weather continues, but we're going to send it to Gaspar Mendez to see what it's going to look like this week.
Hello, North Greenville. In this week's weather, we do have Tuesday. We got 75% chance of rain, so please do bring your umbrella and your rain boots. Moving on to Wednesday and Thursday, we do have the sun coming out and play. So please come and show your support. On Wednesday, we do have the men's tennis, basketball, and lacrosse team playing. Moving on to Friday and Saturday, we have partly sunny clouds. And moving on to Sunday and Monday, we do have the rain coming out. So you will again need your boots and your umbrella for those days. We have spring break this week, as you guys know, so please be safe and be smart, and I'll see you next week.
Eva Skloss, not only a friend but also a stepsister to Anne Frank, spoke at the University of South Carolina's President Leadership Dialogue at the Koger Center Monday. Since 1985, Skloss has devoted her life to Holocaust remembrance and global peace. Skloss has written 2 books as well as traveled around the country speaking to audiences of more than 1,000, including the near to 2,000 people that attended at USC. At the Koger Center, Skloss said that people must speak up against injustice to create change. There's just one race, she said, the human race.
Mardi Gras was last week in New Orleans. Our own Elizabeth Nelson was there to bring us an inside look.
When most people think of Mardi Gras, they think of Fat Tuesday, but Mardi Gras is way more than just a day. The celebration of Mardi Gras came to North America in the 1700s from France, where it had been celebrated since the Middle Ages. Mardi Gras officially starts on January 6th, King's Day, or some people call it Epiphany. Parades start on Friday before Fat Tuesday, and each day is filled with family-friendly events and parades, like the crew of Endymion, Proteus, Orpheus, Zulu, Rex, and Argus, just to name a few. Business and townspeople come together and put on these parades for safe family enjoyment. You might even catch a famous singer or actor as a king of a parade if you're lucky. Parades continue up to Fat Tuesday, Mardi Gras Day, where the celebration continues in the French Quarter with costumes and street parades. Whether you are enjoying a piece of king cake, a parade with the family, or getting some beignets at Café du Monde, Mardi Gras is a family event that is sure to continue for many years to come. Reporting for Vision 48 News, I'm Elizabeth Nelson.
Last week, some of our Mass Comm students spent the week at the National Religious Broadcasters Convention in Orlando. We had 3 teams compete in the INRB competition. We had one of our newscasts submitted, which won first place in the news category. We also had 2 teams compete in a 24-hour challenge. We had an audio team, which consisted of Christian Athey, Victor Chasteen, and John Pearden, which finished 2nd place. The 24-hour film team, which consisted of Clayton Caldwell, Jeremiah Drummond, Julia Kluclo, and Jonathan Shorter, who placed 3rd. Way to go, teams.
Also, while we were at NRB, before we came home from Orlando, we stopped by the Magic Kingdom for the day. Here you can see some footage of a parade that we attended while we were at Disney.
That looks like a lot of fun. What was your favorite part?
It was definitely so much fun. My favorite part was meeting the characters. You see Cinderella and Prince Charming there. Like, it was just so much fun to go meet them all. It definitely brings out the inner child in you.
You actually had a chance to meet Cinderella, didn't you?
Yes, I met Cinderella. It was so much fun.
That had to be a lot more fun than sitting in class. I wish I could have gone.
It was definitely great. It was so much fun. Another fun thing that I did this past weekend was attend the SEC Women's Basketball Championship game in Greenville. The SEC tournament returned to South Carolina for the first time since 2005. For the championship game, the South Carolina women played Mississippi State and won 59-49. That championship win makes the Lady Gamecocks the SEC Women's Basketball champs for the 3rd consecutive year.
Well, speaking of sports, and to get more on sports, we're going to send it to Bethany Lipscomb to see what's going on for the Crusaders.
Lots of events happened for the Crusaders last week. Men's golf started the week out by placing 3rd out of 13th at the annual Richard Rendelman Invite. NGU had 3 players placed in the top 10. Seth Robertson and Christian Constance tied for 5th, and Evan Gaffeller placed 7th. The Crusaders were right around the corner at Green Valley Country Club as they play in the Southern Tide Classic March 6th. And let's not forget about our ladies golf team as they compete in the Pfeiffer University Invitational down in Hilton Head, South Carolina, March 6th. They will be in Hartsville, South Carolina for the Coker Women's Spring Invitational March 13th at 8 a.m. Women's basketball made it to the first round of the playoffs against Barton College. They ended it with a devastating loss of 89-62. Alyssa Jones was the lead scorer for this game, putting up 15 points, but the Lady Crusaders just weren't able to pull out a win, leaving them 0-2 against Barton in the postseason. This left the ladies with an overall season of 14-15 and 11-11 mark in the Conference Carolinas. Baseball started the week off very strong with a win 4-0 away at Mars Hill. Zach Camerman was a shining star in the game in which he allowed only 3 hits and 1 walk while he pitched 7 shutout innings. Eric Gilbert, Clark Scalamero, and Andrew Fraser brought the Crusaders home when they were up to bat. On March 1st, the team took a road trip to give a major upset for Aiken, who is ranked number 3 in the NCAA Division II. The Crusaders pulled out a win of 9-8, and Friday, March 3rd, they kicked off their second conference series here against Belmont Abbey in Tigerville, South Carolina. From the first inning to the ninth, Belmont Abbey led the game for only a short period of time in the fourth, but NGU snatched the lead right back when Clark Scalamero, Connor Grant, and Taylor McEwen all brought the score to 6-3. NGU fought hard and came out with a win of 11-7. The next day, March 4th, was a doubleheader for the Crusaders in the series against Belmont Abbey. The first game of the day was a strenuous one, but Nathaniel Maggio, Connor Grant, Andrew Plunkett, and Ryan Brown each produced a hit, but it was Cannon Copper's pitching that was strong to allow Belmont Abbey to not score. NGU beat Belmont Abbey 2-0 in the second game of the series. The last and final game against Belmont Abbey was a stressful one, but they pulled out the series win over Belmont Abbey 13-10, making them 15-4 overall. Let's see the boys sweep Newberry College in Lexington, South Carolina, March 7th at 6 p.m. Men's volleyball had a successful night away on Tuesday, February 28th with the win over Erskine 3-1. Matthew McNanaway led the Crusaders that night with 17 kills. With star player McNanaway, he led the team with a 16-kill performance against Emmanuel College March 2nd. They pulled out a win of all sets of 3-0, crushing Emmanuel College. With the last game of the week on March 4th for the Crusaders, they fought long and hard. McManaway was back in double digits, and Ben Hamshow made the charge, finishing with 10 kills. They all finished strong, winning 3-1 against Lincoln Memorial University. Come out and support the men's volleyball team as they take over Belmont Abbey here at Home Gymnasium March 9th at 7 p.m. Our softball team went back-to-back March 1st against the Royals at Queen's University of Charlotte. The Lady Crusaders pushed hard the first game with Grace DeBoer's first one-hit home run of the season. DeBoer was the lead scorer with 3 hits and 3 home plate appearances for the first game. They had the first game in their hands with the score of 3-2. In the second game of the day, the Lady Crusaders and the Lady Royals exchanged leads until NGU fell behind and lost the second game 7-5. But hope is still held on for the Lady Crusaders, pulling out a win of 6-0 against Emmanuel College in Franklin Springs, Georgia, Saturday, March 4th. Catch them March 9th in their next home game against Coker College in Hartsville, South Carolina for a doubleheader at 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. Men's lacrosse had another yet successful week win against Emmanuel College. Austin Dixon was a lead scorer with 5 goals, and Braden Dixon worked hard to have 5 saves. Come out March 8th at 4 p.m. as they face Shorter University here in Tigerville. March 3rd was a tough game for NGU women's lacrosse team. Hannah Hawkins started the Crusaders out strong with back-to-back goals, and Sarah Smith soon after scored her first 2 goals to tie the game up to be 5-5. Sydney Taylor had 10 saves, but they knew that they wouldn't be able to pull out the win when they lost 9-8 in double overtime against University of Virginia here at home. Although there was still hope for them to redeem themselves here at home, March 7th at 2 p.m. against the University of Mount Olive. Women's tennis had a busy week of wins. March 2nd against Shaw University, they brought home a win of 7-2. Then March 4th against Converse College here at home, they killed it with the win of 8-2. Overall, our Lady Crusaders are 3-7. Come show some love to our Lady Crusaders here at home Wednesday, March 8th at 2 p.m. Men's tennis also had a successful week with a win of 8-1 against Shaw University, which leaves them 2-8 overall. So come show support next week as both men and women's teams take on Erskine College Wednesday at 2 p.m. here on our courts. That's all for this week's sports. Tune in again next week for your Crusader Sports Update, and remember, you can watch all of the home games on the North Greenville Sports Network.
Thanks, Bethany. That's our news for this week. Have a great week, North Greenville, and we'll see you back here in 2 weeks after spring break.
But if you can't wait that long to see us again, you can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and YouTube at Vision 48 News. Have a great week, North Greenville, and we'll see you back here after spring break.